Hello and welcome back to my philosophical and musical channel. So, musical aesthetics, it's my sphere of scientific interest. Friedrich Nietzsche, by the way, in his very significant work Human All Too Human, noticed that our aesthetic sense is often connected with the religious sense. For example, the space of the temple sets up for some mystical mood with its space, with its atmosphere, with its darkness. And I think this is a very subtle and correct observation of Nietzsche. And of course, it also concerns the musical art, of course. And in the Middle Age, the category of beauty received its own special significance. Aesthetic problems have largely preserved the continuity of the traditions of antiquity. For example, we can mention, of course, Pythagorean concept and Platonic and Aristotelic tradition, and yet the Christian reinterpretation gave them a completely different sound and completely different meaning. The Pythagorean concept of heavenly music, for example, the sound of spheres as a numerical order, and the contemplation of beauty is transformed into a sensually colored and emotionally experienced perception. On the one hand, beauty continues its existence as an attribute of God. It's the divine emanation. But on the other hand, the brightness of the sensual experience of the beautiful can capture the medieval thinker. And here the attitude to beauty is already connected with the danger of temptation, of seduction. And it's something connected with evil, of course, with sin. Interest in beauty and artistic creativity through the prism of Christian understanding appears already in the writings of apologetics. For example, in Irenaeus of Lyon, the understanding of relationship between body and soul. By the way, it's a very contemporary theme and topic. And this relationship between body and soul is a prototype of the relationship between the artist and his instrument. The soul is an active artistic principle, and the body is only an instrument for this soul. It's something inert and something unyielding matter, The task of a person, the aim of a person is to realize the Creator's plan and transform himself into a spiritually beautiful and moral creature. It's very important, this synthesis of morality and beauty. And then he realizes the Creator's plan, which is contained in man as in the decoration of this world. Since man is the image and likeness of the Creator, he is charged with the duty to conform to the harmony that was originally laid down in the world. No matter how diverse and numerous the created things are, according to Irenaeus, for example, and other medieval thinkers. They are in harmonious connection and harmony with the whole universe. Considered separately, they are mutually opposite and inconsistent, but we have no opportunity to embrace all this harmony and beauty. The question of the universe as unity and its likening to some divinity, tuned instrument, is perhaps the most common analogy in the texts of the early Middle Age, and the representative of the Saint Victor school, Hugh of Saint Victor, or Hugh of Saint Victoire. He was a Saxon canon regular and leading theologian and writer and philosopher. on mystical theology, and he emphasizes this duality of beauty, by the way. He was born circa 1096 and he was dead 1141. By the way, it's important to know that he was a major specialist in medieval education and upbringing. So self-development can we see. And Didascalia, for example, or on the study of reading, he's one of his major work, and the subtitle to the Didascalion makes the purpose of Hugh's tract or work clear. Written for the students at the School of St. Victor, the work is a preliminary introduction to the theological and exegetical studies taught at the Parisian school, Sorbonne, the most advanced centers of learning in Europe this time, in 12th century, according to investigations, and citing a wide range classical and medieval sources, and with Augustine as his principal authority, Hugh sets forth a comprehensive synthetic of rhetoric, philosophy, and exegesis designed to serve as a foundation for advanced theological study. There is a beauty invisible higher, and there is a visible lower, and lower, which is only a reflection of the invisible. We should remember it always. All human senses, including the sense of smell and any kind of sense, participate in the perception of beauty. In the context of the dialectical unity of the beautiful, as such, Hugh mentions music. Music is a very important for him. Music is a division of sounds and variety of voices, and in other words, music or harmony is the agreement of many opposites reduced to unity. Proportionality plays an important role in the concept of beauty. Of course, the proportionality of the parts and the whole is a necessary condition for harmony originates from antiquity. And here music plays a big role as a theory of numerical relations, and maybe we can mention Boethius, for example. Boethius pays great attention to the speculative theoretical part of music. The Pythagorean theory found its practical application in the sounds of the scale, which were interpreted as planets orbiting the Earth and emitting a certain sound, but we can't hear it with our ears. We can only contemplate these sounds with our rationality. In the 12th century, the iconic image Philosophia, et septem artes liberalis, Philosophy and Seven Liberal Arts, was produced by an Alsatian, Abbess Herod of Landsberg, with her community of women as part of the Hortus Delicarium. And the first stage of learning is the so-called trivium, something more general. Trivium, the arts of trivium associated with the word. It was rhetoric, grammar, and logic. Then the student moves on to the next stage and study the sciences of the quadrivium. These sciences were related to the number, so it's a higher level of abstraction. It's more higher level of studying. It included mathematics, astronomy, geometry, and music. And only after that it was possible to study philosophy or medicine or law or something else. Moreover, philosophy. In the future, music was an important link in the training and formation of a full-fledged personality. In addition, music was an essential part of the liturgy, of course. And harmonic consonance helps to see and feel the essence of the liturgy. And the worshippers shouldn't be deprived of this important experience during the service. The relationship between soul and body also has a certain consonance and dissonance and musical ratio of proportions, musical order of proportion. The concept of a musical soul, for example, it was the concept of Hildegard of Bingen, one of the mystical abbotesses of the Middle Ages, and we can hear some of her musical art, some of her musical pieces on the YouTube, by the way. I have seen her compositions. Maybe I will link it down. It's impossible to allow the chants in the temple to be silenced for this abbotess, for Hildegard, as this is an unjust deprivation. We should enjoy this music, this spiritual liturgy, and despite the fact that we know about musical culture rather as a component of secular life, sounding in concert halls and opera houses, we still mustn't forget about this important and slightly mystical part of musical history. For me, it's great part of this music culture. Okay, thank you for your attention. I hope it was something interesting and maybe something refreshing for you, and see you in the next video.